What it is, what it do, what goes on in the neighborhood, how goes everyone? Make sure to hit the like button on the way in. Welcome to another episode of the Finn's Tailgate with your host El Capitan. Got color commentary with me here as well. I don't know if Color's there yet. Color, are you there?
I am.
Oh shit, yeah, there he is. There he is. So on the eve of the quote unquote legal tampering period, which it's funny because here we are on the eve of the legal tampering period, but I swear there's already things coming down the pike that I don't know how players are getting signed, even though free agency hasn't technically begun. Color, it's weird because your mic shows that it's off, but I could still hear background. Okay, all right. That was weird. So yeah, hit the like button on your way in, guys. We're gonna get into all of the stuff that's going on here and free agency. We're gonna talk about, listen, are the Dolphins gonna make money moves? Are they gonna do some big timing? Is something fitting to happen? I don't know. Huh. It's weird. It's like I can't see color. Oh, there he's gone. Huh. Well, color's gone. And I blame all of you guys. So hit the like button and get in chat because we're gonna discuss a little bit. Now here's a couple of the things, right? Dolphins have needs. Severe needs on both sides of the ball. We're gonna get into a couple of those needs. And Chris Grier, Mike McDaniel, both alluding that they're going to have a lot of really good opportunities to address their needs via free agency or the draft. And the Dolphins are going to, what does Mike McDaniel always love to say? Adversity brings opportunity, right? That's what he loves to say, Color. So we'll see if that's the fact. But moves are starting to already happen, and we're going to get into some of those right now. So Dolphins' very first move just getting made over like an hour ago. Now, this is obviously after the cuts of said players like Fuller and Smythe and Mostert. But Dolphins have announced the signing of tight end Jonnu Smith on a 2-year, $10 million deal, which, hey, he played pretty darn good. Pro Bowler, the only one from Miami last year. Kind of earned himself a deal. And I got to say, $10 million for 2 years, not a bad deal. Not bad at all. So I'm not really hurting or upset about that, but there's still a lot of moves and deals needing to get made, Color. So when we look at all of the needs, because guess what? They signed one tight end, but they kind of already possessed that tight end when they let go of Durham Smythe. So still kind of need another tight end on this Dolphins squad, right? Also, backup quarterback, big position of need, according to Mike McDaniel and Chris Grier. And really, the fans. We need a competent backup quarterback because we have a quarterback that's our starting quarterback that, although is extremely competent when on the field, except for when it's cold, can't stay healthy. So it doesn't really have a lot of confidence into his ability to remain healthy throughout the season. So you need to have somebody waiting in the wings to come and relieve him. Well, we're going to get into some of those potential possibilities of those free agents as well. There's also the running back situation. Yes, we have Devon Achane. We do have Jalen Wright, but how much can we expect him to be impactful in this offense? I think he's a good running back. I don't think he adjusted very well to the speed of the NFL as well to what the language and the whys and the need to knows in this Mike McDaniel offense. I think he struggled with that a little bit, but obviously he played well enough that The Dolphins felt comfortable letting go of Raheem Mostert, but then again, what did we get from Raheem Mostert? Where was he? Where was this guy? Where was Raheem Mostert last year? There is talk about Raheem maybe coming back to the team, and I know that there's a lot of affinity here on the football team while Raheem is hanging out with Tua at his birthday party, popping bottles of champagne, celebrating. Show me the money. Shout out to everybody in chat who's already here. Greg Fontaine up in here talking about Joey Bosa, which we're going to get into that. Also, Jamie up in here. What's up, Jamie? Ronnie, what's going on, buddy? Missed you too, bud. And then CCRR. Hey, tight end is a big need. Jonnu, just a slot wide receiver. Well, we'll get into that too. Hit the like button, guys. Share the video. Make sure to let her. Oh, what's up, Nene? What's happening, Nay? I see you. So we're going to get into some of these things, Color, but Jonnu Smith brought back. What do you think about that, Color? Do tell, Color. Do tell. Can't hear you. Wow. This is the most quietest Color's ever been. What's up, Fins, New Jersey? I see you on X. Make sure to come over here to YouTube at the Fins Tailgate. Yes, Nene, there is some stuff talking about Odell. We'll get into a little bit of that craziness as well. I mean, here's the thing, right? It's been rather quiet in the NFL, especially for the Miami Dolphins, but it's funny because everything seems to tend to bottleneck. There's always football has effectively become NFL football anyhow has effectively become a year-round spectator sport where yes, there might not be any football on or any football from your team, but man, oh man, does the drama not stop between the combine, the free agency, the draft, the second wave of free agency, the rookie mini camps, the HBO specials and all this Hard Knocks stuff. It never seems to end. And with X and all the other stuff, it's crazy. I know, Jimmy, it's kind of funny. Color speechless. I know. Color, are you coming through? I can't hear you. Wow. This Color's taking this Jonnu Smith extension pretty hard. Left him speechless, which is not like Color. And I got to be honest, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Huh. Yeah, I can see that it shows your mic, but I can't hear you, Color. I got the text. Yes. I don't know if you got to reconnect. I don't know what's happened. Maybe drop off. Hold on, let me do this and do that. Maybe that helps.
How about now?
Oh, wait. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah.
Huh.
It was seeing my mic the whole time. It wasn't a connection problem.
Just a little connecty problem. Okay, Color, what do you think of the Jonnu Extendo version?
Well, as we spoke backstage before the show, I think it's ironic that he basically got the same contract that Durham got when we replaced Gesicki.
I would say, and you look at it in that lens, what an upgrade, right? What an upgrade.
Yeah,
Jonnu Smith has proven he is far more effective than any tight end we've had as far as in the passing game goes, dating all the way back to Charles Clay.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, maybe you could nitpick some certain things about Jonnu that are not as good as, what we had, but you got a, I would say a substantial upgrade in Jonnu Smith for the same money, considering what we use our tight ends for.
I mean, yes, I would
But
say.
I do think with Jonnu, it's like you still got to, you've been up and down your whole career. You still got to put in one more, like, solid season like he did this year to be able to say, yeah, I'm now that guy on the tight end room. I need 15 million or whatever or more.
You think Jonnu would do that?
Well, maybe, but we just don't pay tight ends that much. That's just us. We don't do that.
I mean, what are tight ends really getting in the top tier market? And
I'd say a top one would probably get 15, maybe 20. If they're like, if you're at Kelsey levels or, these other tight ends that are just below Kelsey, you probably command 15, 20 million.
Well, let's look it up right now. I'm looking up Travis Kelce. Let's see what he gets. Travis Kelce is making. Well, he's in 2024. He got 17 million guaranteed. Holy cow! He has 0 guaranteed salary this year, but he's got 19 million against the cap for 2025. So he will be restructuring his contract. He has no guarantees. He gets a $12.5 million roster bonus, but his average number is 19. So yeah, you were right. Over the last 2 years, or last year and this year. So it's funny though. His base salary is only like $5.5 million. Still good numbers. So yeah, I would say this, right? Jonnu Smith obviously likes being here in Miami. Played like a guy who wanted to stay playing here in Miami, and was rewarded for what I think to be an inexpensive cost for how effective he is here. Now, whether he can remain effective if Tua Tagovailoa goes down and the backup comes in 2025, because that ultimately seems to be what the Dolphins are preparing themselves for, a life with Tua going down. That just seems like what the narrative is on X and platforms like that. And I just want to say, everybody, shout out to everybody in chat. I see you guys saying, where you guys been? We miss you guys, stuff like that. We have been quiet here on YouTube. It's been something that, listen, we want to do more, and we will. We've been working at a lot of different angles, adding new stuff, and there's new things added all the time. And as the season progresses, we'll get it better worked into a workflow. We adapting, baby. We adapting. So don't think we forgot about you. We missed you guys, and we will be here and be back.
I forgot about none of you.
Hell nah.
I'm alive here in real life. I've been trying to get this going on. You know what I mean? And
listen, colors dabbling in some stuff. I'm dabbling in some stuff.
But here's the thing: if I'm gonna sit here and talk, repeat the same offseason a third time in a row, I've got things I need to take care of right now in life. So I'd rather take this opportunity when we're literally talking about the same things again for a third off season in a row. I'd rather get myself under with better footing and better foundation in my life.
I'm going to help you out.
I need to fix up. So in the meantime, if you want to know what I feel about this off season, we have a wealth. We have a plethora of hours of color telling you what the same thing that he would say right now about what's going on as I did last offseason, and I did the offseason before that. We need another quarterback.
We definitely do. We're not going to have stability in this franchise till we have stability at the quarterback position. Now we can go ahead and design all these other things, and we're going to get into all those when we're talking free agency, because we know what quarterback we got. But here's what's crazy, Color. As you're saying this, it hit me like a lightning bolt. We're actually practicing what Mike McDaniel preaches. This would be the third offseason of Color and I and us here at the tailgate telling the fan base what they now realize about the team when it comes to the quarterback position and what we need to do and how we need to play it, right? And we've fought against the tidal wave of everyone saying the market is what the market is, and you need to do this, and you need to do that. And these dorks that sit on here and they watch the game, they break down film. They watch other dummies that break down film. And I'm not saying breaking down film isn't a skill, because I'll tell you what, you can learn a hell of a lot. And I suggest a lot of you do watch people break down film and do break it down yourself if you're trying to be astute in the game. But there's a lot more nuance than that. Something is lost in the film part. talking about the energy, the soul, the understanding of the game and what it means. Because to tell people to lay their body on the line, you got to not only want it, but you got to believe in it too. And when you have someone you can't believe in, ultimately, when the going gets tough, people are going to say, fuck that. Well, I will say this as we now go for a third off season talking about these same things, that lesson that I'm still hoping to drill into the heads of the normies and the nerds and the dummies and the young people, right? Young people don't know. I'm willing to, anyhow, adversity of facing a third off season that is reminiscent of the prior two creates opportunity. And Color and I and the rest of us here at the Fids tailgate have applied that into adversity, into opportunity. Color's got some other things going on. I got some other things going on, all relative to hopefully take the level of this program and keep it pushing, keep it moving.
You can't grow the channel if you can't grow yourselves.
Exactly, dude. What are we going to come out here and just give you the same spiel on the same network with the same thing over and over and over again? And listen, that works for tons of people. I got to be honest, my attention span doesn't last that long. I have to be creative or else I get stagnant. And if I get stagnant, I get bored. And if I get bored, I'm done. I used to skateboard, got decent at skateboarding, kind of got bored with it, put it down. I used to surf, kind of got really decent at surfing, got bored with it, put it down. I could play the shit out of the guitar. I played that for a long time, but I haven't played a guitar in years. I still possess these skills, right? But I like to educate. I like to learn. I like to continue to grow. And this is why I chose with my friends here to make the tailgate about the Dolphins, because no matter what all the things I want to learn and put energy and time with, I always love my Dolphins. So I figured, hey, if we learn some more skills, this computer thing we learned this a little more. We learned some market stuff a little bit more, a little bit of a design, software, hardware. We're always grinding over here. And yeah, sometimes it's going to take us away from what we want to do, like just sit up here and bullshit with you guys. But life will, take some time and some, manipulation, but we will be around and we will be in full gear when it's time for full gear. And we will be bringing new and better and more fun stuff all the time because of it. So make sure everybody is hitting that like button and representing. Please come over here to YouTube if you're watching on X or if you're watching on, I don't know, we're streaming on a couple platforms. So whatever you're watching it on, come over here to YouTube and hit the like button.
What we're doing is we're buying low. We're over here buying low. We're the smart money. We're over here buying low. Everybody else is selling y'all short.
Yeah, dog. We played the long game and
buying low. We're gobbling up all those sales and buying low.
That's it, baby. Well, you know what it is? I kind of rock with it the same way I rock with my music. I like rap music. I love rap music, and I love fucking like metal scream rock music. But it has to be that underground shit. That dirty, that fucking, that's the kind of shit I vibe with. If it's mainstream and you're singing it and there's 20 people that know it, I inherently don't like that. I'm like, y'all are fucking puppets, and I'm probably wrong. I could vibe. There's some good songs or what have you that everybody can agree upon. But by and large, I'm like, nah, give me something that is raw and just full of emotion and real and hard work, right? I don't need to see somebody who's all a polished product. I want the struggle. Give me the struggle. And that's how we get in here. We're going to stay underground. We're going to be the struggle. We got the TNN news network now, Tailgate News Network. We got the website with the tftgnetwork.com. And we got the Finn's Tailgate here on YouTube with all the cast of characters. So we got stuff working.
Yep. This is entertainment. The game is get a reaction out of people, make them entertained, and the measure is how original you are. That's all it is. It's all about originality. It's time to move to a different position. And like I said, we're buying low. Everybody else selling out. Everybody else getting out.
Hey, it's cool, man. It's cool, baby.
Buying in. We're
It's
buying
cool,
the
baby. It's cool. We here. We in there like swimwear, and we finna stay there. Ha! We in there like swimwear, and we finna stay there. How about them matches? All right, so let's get into it, color. Jonnu Smith, yay, homie in the hood. We got him. A couple other things coming down the yonder, color.
Yeah, fill me in. I'm a little behind.
I got you, buddy. Got you. So, Seahawks shopping around wide receiver DK Metcalf. Seattle wants to get a second round pick for him. DK making it pretty clear he's looking for a $30 million a year type of deal. This is DK Metcalf. Now he's kind of had, we know what he can do and how much of a playmaker he is, and just a kind of guy that has Megatron-esque qualities. I would say he's not Megatron though. Right. I feel like DK's been quiet as far as superstardom goes for him. So I'm sure also with making the money, he wants to get on a team that can be competitive and do all that good stuff and yada, yada, yada. Well, Tom Pelissero, a little over an hour ago, reports the Steelers are acquiring Pro Bowl wide receiver DK Metcalf. Steelers are getting him, color. Now, I just want to know, and now maybe someone could fill me in, and I probably would know.
That's actually a really good move.
But who's their quarterback?
I think that's a really, really good fit. What do you mean who's their quarterback? Who's the first person that ever threw to DK Metcalf in his career?
I mean, I guess Russell Wilson, right? So
I think so. Wasn't that Russell Wilson's last year there?
I think you're right. I think Russell did play with him on his rookie year.
And then you got, if they're going full boat with Fields on the comeback or the come up, then yeah, that's a great fit, dude. Big, tall, wide receiver like DK Metcalf, with brutality, the way he plays his position. That's Mike Tomlin written all over.
Shout out to Nene with the $1.99 donation. Hollering at color. Good to see you, color. Says go back to color.
Well, thank you, Nene. Good to see you too. We both been quiet on Twitter these past few weeks.
Yeah, well, y'all know.
But I just think that's a great culture, personality, all of it fits right with that organization and Mike Tomlin and whoever they bring up at quarterback.
I wish I had the culture of the fucking Steelers on my football team.
It's not hard to get a player right with the Steelers. You know what I mean? I mean, they dealt with Antonio Brown for crying out loud.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know. Where others couldn't. Even Tom Brady couldn't keep Antonio Brown all the way in. Antonio Brown literally, it's amazing to think that a guy that was so good at football, that loved football, that won at the highest levels and got paid, and literally is one of the greatest wide receivers of all time. I would say pound for pound, he is the greatest, right? Like there's a very good debate to say pound for pound, he might be one of the most talented, but he walks away from the game on his own volition, and you couldn't promise him enough to keep him there. And there's something to be respected and admired about that. I kind of like that. It's a G fucking move, and I rocks with it. I fucks with it to say, fuck it, I'm out of here. Deuces. I don't think I would ever do some shit like that, but when I see it, yeah, we can all overreact to it in time like this dumb son of a bitch. But then in retrospect, you're like, pretty hard. You know what I'm saying? Pretty dope. So, but yeah, when we think of DK Metcalf ending up on a team that he wants to be competitive with and, wants to fit in and they be about winning, while getting paid. I mean, let's go, right? And they still got Pickens there too. So is Pickens a free agent? Pickens ain't a free agent, is he? No, he's not. Let me see. Hmm. AB has CTE. No one wanted his drama. Nah, what you mean, Nene? That guy's just living his best life. Damn, what a friggin' list. Who was I thinking? Who was I looking at? Oh, Pickens. Let's see wide receivers. Mike Williams is up. Damn, this is in like no order too. Holy cow. Yeah, I think Pickens is he's still Van Jefferson's up for contract now. He's a free agent. Nene was asking if it was your birthday recently, Color.
Yes, I'm sorry. I was away from the keyboard for a second. Yes, in fact, it was February 28th.
That's right. There's like a bunch of people I know with the birthday on February 28th. Like you.
Yeah, we're a special crew, you know.
It's weird, like how many people I know that I vibe with, like I fucks with hard, are all on the 28th.
You ever notice every single year the milk gallons at the store, the expiration falls on that date every year?
No, I did not.
You'll always see a Fed 28 or T28, yeah. Anyway, the other thing is, whenever I tell somebody I was born in February, they're like, "Oh yeah, I got an aunt that was February, or I got a niece that was born in." You know what I mean? Like everybody knows somebody born in February.
February is popular.
I think it's because it's like, you know, what else do you have to do when you're holed up in the north? You know, when it's blizzard outside, what else you got to do? You know.
Well,
going on, you know what I mean? Like, that's just all there is to it, you know.
I just want to point out, True Talk had tagged me in something on X, saying that after the Seahawks getting DK Metcalf to the Steelers, that there's rumors swirling about Tua going to Pittsburgh.
Oh, well, you know, why not?
That's crazy. That's
see what I tell you. Look at Shake. And there you go. Jamaican from Zion. Another cool dude. Born in February.
Shout out to Craig. Would you guys have a problem if we got Mariota as our backup? Well, yes. Craig.
Yes.
So
I don't want Marcus Mariota anywhere near this football team.
I got to be honest, Color. It's funny he should bring that up because as we were going to be rolling through this litany of just topics, and it's a rat nest of topics, to be honest with you, because there's really there's things that are old, things that are new, things that are coming in, because hearing that that DK Metcalf, right?
DK born on the 25th, bro.
DK Metcalf, per Tom Pelissero, going to the Steelers, also says he's going to get a 5-year, $150 million contract, right? And I mean, listen, can they re-sign Van Jefferson? Can they keep Pickens, Van Jefferson, and DK Metcalf and get a rookie wide receiver in the draft this year while keeping their quarterback room? Because right now, there was a lot of people asking about who who was going to go after Justin Fields, and I'm trying to find where it was. Let me see if I can find it. There was a team that was linked to him. See if I can find it.
Imagine, based on what we saw out of Justin Fields in his short run this year with Pittsburgh, I cannot imagine that he's just not going to continue to get better and actually be something, even though he's got a lot of doubters in Pittsburgh. Like Pittsburgh is the place.
Jets are also looking at Justin Fields' services as well, but now that it looks like Justin Fields might opt to try to stay with the Steelers. The Steelers, listen, the Steelers are kind of out of position to get one of these quarterbacks unless
if Justin Fields goes to the Jets, it'll ruin him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, why would listen, the Jets want a quarterback.
Right. He'll prove all the doubters right that he's nothing. You know what I mean?
The Jets definitely want a quarterback like him right now because that's literally what they're going to need. A guy who can run around and do whatever he can do to nobody. That's what they need right now.
Exactly. A guy they can use up and spit out.
Shout out to Nene for the Pisces season's happy belated birthday color 2025 for me.
Yeah, she was born
Nene. Is that right?
Yeah. 3 days before me. Well, I don't know about 3 days. I don't know what her age is, but you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no. 3 days and several years to the young college student Nene, who, I mean, boys could only be so lucky. I mean, listen, Nene, gonna need the legal services out here when we start, stepping it up and start stepping on the toes of the establishment. So we there with you, Nene. We love you. We do. Fuck these motherfuckers. So there's some talking about, Jets need a starting quarterback. I think there's like 12 teams that don't have a perceptive starting quarterback.
Wait. Stop the press.
Uh-oh.
Weren't we supposed to sing happy birthday?
To whom?
Isn't that something we do around here? I'm pretty sure that's a tradition here at the Finn's Tailgate, bro.
I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if we've ever done it on your show, but that's up to you. But happy birthday.
We will say happy belated 27th birthday to Nene. We love you, girl.
27.
We love you, girl. Happy belated 27th birthday, Nene. Looking finer than frog hair, girl, as we would say here in the South. Looking finer than frog hair. Get them, Nene. Holla.
Holla, girl.
Mm-hmm. So, with this talk of, wait a minute. What's that? Oh, okay, never mind. With this talk of DK now here and Steelers, really, Mike Tomlin caught some heat at the end of the year. There was people calling for his job. Pittsburgh ain't standing for losing as far as fans go. And it's funny because they're pissed as hell because they're watching Philly win it. You know what I'm saying? I know they're not they're AFC, NFC, but there's some huge rivalry there in that region.
Yeah, that is pretty rough for them.
What do both those teams have in common?
That's 2 out of like the last 4 that or 3 out of the last 5 that they've been there, and 2 of them they won.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's got to be itching on Pittsburgh as a city. Yeah,
Pittsburgh with what has, Pittsburgh, a linchpin in the NFL. When you think NFL, you think Pittsburgh, you think Green Bay, you think the Bears, like the pillars of it. Not, you know what I'm saying? Just like that old school thing of NFL. And their fans not mad. What do both those fans have in common? Steelers fans and Eagles fans. Does anybody in chat tell me what do those two fans have in common? Back It Up Binge podcast. Salute to the homie. I'll tell you what those fans have in common, since how chat is slow. They ain't standing for nonsense out of their organization. They calling for people's jobs. They're 10 wins and saying this is bullshit. You know, like they don't fuck around. They're hard on their organization, their coach, their team. All year, since dating back to the year prior when the Eagles, obviously, after losing in the Super Bowl, took a year back to reschedule. Like they weren't getting where they wanted. They had like a maneuver year, a down year, and then they parlayed it and stacked and went to the Super Bowl and won with the help of Vic Fangio's amazing defense. That being said, their fans at the end of the year when they did this downturn were not easy the whole time. And even harder the year they just won the Super Bowl. The year they won the Super Bowl years ago with the Tom Brady year, I remember Eagles fans, they were such dicks that whole time. That's who these guys are. And they're hard as hell on their team and organization. But it works. Pittsburgh making moves. Fans are hard on Tomlin right now. Tomlin, I don't want to say he's fighting for his job because, I mean, I guess in some aspects maybe, but all right. I didn't even put my thumb up. Why did it do it last time? I don't know, Color. What do you think, buddy? Tomlin getting squirrely with these moves because he's worried about losing his job, or is this just the effect of Steelers fans getting what they deserve because they're bitching about it and not kissing the ass and kissing the ring? You talking, Color? Did it happen again? Let me try this.
Yeah, I was talking.
Huh? Something happens when you're
it does. It cuts out for a second.
Yeah,
but
when your mic gets mute.
Yeah, I'm not convinced that he is ever concerned about his job. To be honest with you, I don't think he leaves until he wants to leave.
You think he's just completely unfeathered, secure in his gig?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's what we're talking about, bro. I mean, what are they gonna do?
Well, I mean, the fans were calling for his job.
Well, fans can say we can call for whatever they want. We've been calling for Tua's job for 3 years. I ain't done one iota of help.
All right, so let's give a quick rundown of what signings have happened, especially, Bill's been active, Color. I'm catching you up a little bit, but did you hear?
No, I didn't.
Josh Allen agrees to new terms, a 6-year deal worth up to $330 million.
Wow.
With, get this, $250 million guaranteed.
Wow. At least he's earned it.
I would say it's probably right. It's a 6-year deal.
He's right. I'd hate to have to pay it, but at least he's earned it.
It's only $41.6 million a year in guaranteed dollars. And they're not going to go they're not moving off of him in the next 5 years. He's obviously going to be good for a decent stretch longer. Whether they can build enough around him in a run game and a top flight defense like the Eagles had in the trenches or whatever needs to happen that they're going to specialize in. Can they get it done? I would say Josh Allen's a pretty good building block that they're going to bet a lot of money on to continue to build with. And that's probably a smart business decision. Joe Levesque says he earned it, but still something missing. I would say it's a chromosome missing in Josh Allen's case, Color. What do you think? Think he's missing a chromosome?
Possible. It's possible.
He's missing a chromosome or two?
Maybe.
But
His eyes are a little close together.
They're pretty close together. I've always wondered. So not only did he sign with them, but Greg Rousseau signed a 4-year, $80 million extension worth $54 million in guaranteed. That's a good contract for Greg Rousseau and the team, if you think about it. And I'll tell you what, if Jalen Phillips comes up and in the first 5-6 weeks is playing really well and looks to be something, I'm looking at this contract with $54 million over 40 years, $80 million extension for Jalen Phillips. I'm looking to try to get on that. I'm looking to try, if he shows health, I'm looking to potentially beat it. And it's crazy because there's been some massive signings that have really fucked up the market in some ways. This not being one of them. Greg Rousseau's had some injury, had some up and down type stuff, but still a young talent and is effective. Kind of slow starting there, but like, I don't know, it's a mixed bag of results. But I would say a defensive end like Greg Rousseau, $54 million over 4 years is a pretty damn good deal. So this contract, I know Bills fans are happy about this, but I don't think it's a good move anytime. But they like this guy. They like the way he plays. Shakir, the wide receiver, he got a 4-year extension worth up to $60 million. He's only got $32 million guaranteed over those 4 years. So yes, he is an inexpensive possession wide receiver. They like him. The Bills always make a move for a guy like this. Shakir is their freaking Beasley, whatever the hell. What was the guy's name that used to play with them that was on Dallas for a bunch of years? And then the little tiny slot wide receiver, possession wide receiver, white guy that was on, he was with Dallas and then went there. I want to say his name was like Beasley or something like that. He always, the Bills love that type of guy. That's Shakir. Cole Beasley. Thank you, Jamie. Cole Beasley. Thank you. I knew it was Beasley. Yeah. I knew it was something like that. So yeah, that's their new Beasley is this Shakir guy, which, hey, fine. They also extended linebacker Bernard, 4-year extension worth up to $50 million, only $25.2 million guaranteed. That I think, again, it's a good contract. He's a good linebacker, $25 million for 4 years, young talent. That's pretty good. And they extended 4 years on the long snapper for the going rate of long snappers, which is kind of weird because that's our long snapper's brother. It's Reed Ferguson, and then we have Blake Ferguson. But Blake Ferguson missed a lot of time, and we've never really been very clear on what happened with all that. There was some personal stuff, I guess. I don't want to get too much into it. So next up on this, the New England Patriots, they re-signed their tight end Austin Hooper to a 1-year, $5 million deal worth $4 million guaranteed. He can make up to $7 million. Whatever. It's kind of odd because there's a lot of money for the Patriots, and they've been kind of quiet as far as what they can do. They signed Harold Landry to a 3-year deal for $43.5 million, $26 million guaranteed. That Harold Landry, I remember when he was like a huge talked about with Tennessee and stuff like that. Now it's kind of fizzled out a little bit there. We'll see how that works with the Patriots for $26 million over 3 years. Jets signed Jamie Sherwood. That's a re-signing for them. Their linebacker, 3 years, $45 million. The Baltimore Ravens signed Ronnie Staley. They re-signed him for 3 years, $60 million. Bengals made some moves, keeping a lot of their talent that they had a lot of people coming up. They started out with their offensive lineman, Cody Ford, their long snapper, tight end Tanner Hudson. They re-signed to a 1-year deal. And here's where the bigger contracts came into play. They signed Mike Gesicki, Mike Gesicki with a second contract in his career worth a little something like that. Signs a 3-year deal worth up to $25.5 million, and he'll get $12 million in year 1. So he's going to get 12 mil up front, and he can make up to another 13.5
From the
million
Bengals?
for the Bengals. Yeah, Mike
Wow.
Gesicki cooking with the Bengals,
Wow.
staying with the winners. Mike Gesicki. So let's get. Yeah, I know, right? It's crazy. And then now, T. Higgins, he got a non-exclusive tag, so it's crazy because they're going to end up paying him $26.2 million for 2025, which is wild. Like, T. Higgins is good. He is not worth $26 million, but they don't want to give him a multi-year deal for whatever reason. We see this done a lot in the NFL, right? They have a player they don't, can't, or won't extend for 3-4 years or so. And rather than, I don't know, getting out in front of it early or paying the piper, it's just a weird thing when this is the second straight year that they're paying this non-exclusive franchise tag for. So now it's $26.2 million. What? What's that color?
What's what?
You said on the nose what?
No, I was muted. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I heard you. What'd you hit? You got it on the nose? Your thingy?
No, 400 on the nose.
400 what?
That I got to preheat the oven.
Oh. Holla.
No, I'm about to find out whether that's happening. I'm actually like I'm half my zone on the plus. So yeah.
All right. Well,
I've already captured half of it.
So here's another massive signing that happened in the NFL color. Cleveland Browns. Myles Garrett was forcing his way out of Cleveland. He's like, to hell with this. There's no money that's going to make me stay here. I want to win. I've been doing this my whole career. They've got nothing. We've got nothing. Well, lo and behold, after all of that, it just so happens, Color, there is a price that keeps him there. And he signed a 4-year extension that will give him an average salary of $40 million a year. That 4-year extension has $123 million guaranteed. This son of a bitch is making 40. He completely shatters the pass rusher fucking cap idea. And that's crazy. With this news about Myles Garrett, the Cowboys have allowed or are going to allow Micah Parsons to field offers from other people because they're not going to pay this money for Micah Parsons, just to be clear. Quickly. Pittsburgh, they extend Donald what's his name? Parham Jr., 1-year contract, who gives a fuck, and then the DK Metcalf trade that they did with Seattle. They exchanged a 2nd-round pick this year for DK Metcalf, and they signed him to a 4-year deal worth $132 million. So that's the official reporting on that. $132 million 4-year extension for DK. The guaranteed dollars are not released with that, but for a 2nd rounder, the Seahawks let him go. So the AFC South has been quiet. Nobody has done anything outside of the team that has been controlling the AFC South and the Houston Texans. They re-signed their running back, Ogbendue. I'm butchering his name. I'm sorry, to a 1-year, $2 million deal. But they also trade crazy. Think of this. Now, bad deal signed by the Jacksonville Jaguars in this Christian Kirk, right? They overpaid him. It was terrible. Everything about it. But to trade an asset you've completely lost faith in, don't want, and he obviously was not feeling them at all. Christian Kirk had that one good year in Arizona, and they paid him as if he was, I don't know, fucking. It's weird. Like Christian Kirk, when I think of him, I think of guys like George Pickens. I think of guys like what's the other dude? We were just talking about him. Anyhow, there's like a good top tier wide receiver. But T. Higgins, right? George Pickens, T. Higgins, Christian Kirk. I think these guys are good wide receivers, but they're not Tyreek Hill. They're not Jamar Chase. They're not DK Metcalf. There's like it's a different level when we're talking about these wide receivers. When you pay a Christian Kirk as if they're Tyreek Hill, it's a loss every time. And we always see the same type of thing happen with them. They kind of get psyched out a little bit in their head. You got to kind of be a little bit sick in the head like Antonio Brown to think, I'm the highest paid because I am, bitch. And you know why? Because I'm the best and to deliver on it all the time. That's kind of what is hard for people to overcome, I think, in the wide receiver position. I don't know. But hold on. Let me see if I can help Shake out. Shake's trying to get in here. But anyhow, Christian Kirk traded from the Jaguars to their division foe in the Houston Texans for an exchange 7th-round pick. The trade will not be official until the start of the new league year in March 12th. So, but yeah, they're getting Christian Kirk. I don't know what other details are on that. Maybe there's some dead cap carried by the Jags, or maybe the Houston Texans, because they only gave up a 7th-round pick, they're going to acquire all the dead cap. Who the hell knows? I don't know. Let me see if I can get Anthony in here. Took you nowhere, did it? All right, hold on, buddy. Let me see if I can. Copy. Shake, try to get on that one that I just put in your text. Shout out to Ali, the $5 don. He said, "Did Garrett use the Bills to get his bag?" I don't know. I don't know. I think either way, I think the Browns just had to pay him, Ali. He was ready to say, no, I'm not playing here. I think he truly was ready to leave, and they had to pay him literally a king's ransom to not leave their city. And I think they know something about their fans that if Garrett's gone, there's no reason to even watch. They can't, at least in a 1-year sample size. So yeah, Christian Kirk going to the Agent Hall of Fame for sure. Let's see. See if Shake can get that open. We'll see. I might put it on X too. You know what, Shake? I'm just gonna go ahead and put it on X in a DM for this stream and see if that'll work. That might be a little easier for you. I can hear Ali's in here. Ali, can you get in? Why won't it let you in?
It says I'm in. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Well, yeah, you're in now, but you gotta see now you're out of the stream. You got that sidebar to put yourself in. Can you do that?
No, I don't have no sidebar.
I don't understand why, because I know you have
co-host
abilities.
We've tested this before.
Did you come through the stream in the group chat or the one I sent you on X, or did you just open up the Talk Studio Labs from your browser?
I went through the link you sent me in X.
So open up your Talk Studio through your browser and see if it'll bring you through your team thing, just to see. Hit the like button, everybody.
Can you hear me, Cap?
Yeah, I can hear you. Something happens when you mute your mic. Maybe
yeah, I know.
You might
But
want to click back and forth.
yeah, Ollie's there.
Yeah,
now.
see, look, there you are, Ollie. You got it now?
Mhm.
All right. You want to close the one and then go through the other? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, maybe I'll just hide myself on stream when I walk away from the keyboard.
All right, can you still hear me okay?
Yep, sound great, buddy.
All right, cool. What's up, Color? Haven't seen you in a while, man. Everything
Oh,
good?
not much. Just been busy, man. You know.
I hear you, man. I hear you. Just real quick, Cap, to kind of explain my question to you.
Yeah.
So prior to him signing this big deal, all the rumors and everything that was being said, and even supposedly he has said, Myles Garrett has said that the Bills were ready to make a trade for him, right? So, and then he turns around and signs the deal.
Well,
It kind of makes me kind of feel like he used leverage to get his bag. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just my opinion. I don't know. So that's why I was asking, did he use the Bills to
So
get his bag?
I mean, listen, I'm sure his agent and them alike absolutely use that to leverage, because that's what business moves do. Now, I
Mhm.
do wonder this, right? And I don't know the timeline. Maybe you do, but that Greg Rousseau signing, right? Did they do that before or after or I wonder this, because Greg Rousseau signed for what I believe to be a very fair deal. He
Mhm.
only signed for, in guaranteed dollars, $54 million for 4 years. It's an $80 million contract.
Yeah.
54 for that's a pretty decent deal, man. It is.
Yeah,
Like
even after that signing, to be honest, the rumors were that they were still interested in Myles Garrett. What is surprising, the moment you see Myles Garrett sign his deal with the Cleveland Browns, Josh Allen ends up becoming the highest paid QB ever. You know what I mean?
ever, bro. And
Ever.
good for him. Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
We say highest in guaranteed dollars or whatever it was ever, but it's only a $41.6 million average for those 6 years.
Yeah, definitely.
Now that'll fluctuate with the incentives, which I'm sure are playoff berths, playoff wins, AFC championship wins, touchdown titles, all that shit. So it could get high up there because it's $350 million fucking dollars.
So here's some interesting thing to talk about. I know a lot of the Dolphin fans are really hyped up seeing Joey Bosa's name pop up on our Twitter feed.
So I haven't even got there yet, but let's go ahead and crack it open. Because Color doesn't know this. Color, Joey Bosa. Go ahead and give him. Well, here, I'll give it to him because
go ahead and give him the rundown. But I have a hot take on it. So go ahead. All
right. So Joey Bosa is available. Is going to be to release. That's what's being told, right? The Chargers are going to release him.
They already have. They
already have released him. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So there is some talk of San Francisco is appealing, but there is reported by Diana Rossani, or whatever the fuck her name is.
Yeah.
That there is strong interest from the Miami Dolphins per source for the services of Joey Bosa.
Yeah.
Do you hear that shit, Color?
And it's blowing up all over Dolphins Twitter right now, Color. And my hot take is Joey Bosa using the Dolphins to get a higher bag from the Niners. That's my hot take. Because honestly, I think he is.
So the Niners have less cap than the Dolphins, and that's only because they have purged so much. So it's funny because I forget when it was. It was a little bit. Now the Niners have 34 million, but just 2 days ago they had less than the Miami Dolphins. They were at like 23 million or something like that. But somebody told me, a little birdie in the Niners community was sitting there telling me that I don't understand cap, and I don't understand. I said, listen, the Niners are preparing themselves for a purge season because they got cap troubles. And what happened? The Niners had a purge season. They sucked and they lost because they sucked and they had to suck for their money, which is kind of what whores do. And that's what Niner fans are, especially ones that are like the ones that I talk to on X at times. They suck for money. Anyhow, this being said, they literally have now purged a lot of talent off their teams. They've signed some people. They kept the linebacker doing, but there's a lot going on. They're maneuvering. They're scrambling just like the Miami Dolphins are. And that being said, they right now possess $34 million in change in cap space. They have a effective cap space of, what is the number? Where's it at? 29 million. So they could figure a way to sign him. Do you think that's what they do?
Well, here's
Bosa on the same line. Both guys get injured. They're freak athletes. So when they're out there, they're all but unstoppable.
Yeah.
But they get injured because they're freak athletes. It's kind of like Jalen Phillips. These guys that are these freak athlete types, they always get these ligament injuries because they're just explosive. It's almost like your body's so amazing you can't handle it. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Here's where I'm at with Joey Bosa, right? And I'm putting all my biases away because, the Bosa brothers are Ohio State alumni, so I will always support them. But here is the reality behind it. Joey Bosa is not your top tier player that you're gonna give.
He's not as good as his brother Nick. I think Nick is better.
Nowhere near.
I think Nick is way better.
Nick is generational compared to him. If you're really looking at it, right? Joey is not your top tier guy. He's not your guy that's gonna command $120 million deal anymore.
And I would say TJ Watt's better than all of them.
Yeah, he is. Well, it depends. I'm more
consistent.
I'm higher on Nick when he's healthy than
I would say in the biggest moments, Nick and him, I would give Nick the edge.
Yes. Yeah.
But in a season, I'm counting on whatchamacallit before Nick.
Yeah. So basically what I'm trying to point out is the fact that I think he is one of those bargain bin players that hasn't admitted that he's a bargain bin player yet.
I don't think he's bargain dog.
Well, I think I'm telling you right now, I don't see him as not even a tier 3. I have him at tier 4. That's where I have Joey Bosa at, right? And for me, I think I don't want to spend a bag on him. I'm gonna try to find the cheapest deal I can get for him. That's what I'm gonna offer him. And to be honest, look at how many times the last 2, maybe 3 seasons, all he did was spend time on IR, being injured year in and year out. I mean, come on, you don't want a player like that. The best of ability is availability, and if you're not available to pay,
I agree. That's why when I think of okay. I agree with you. And I'm not going to give him top tier pass rusher money because yes, healthy, you might be earning of it. I wouldn't give him a dime more than I would give Jalen Phillips. They're both in career potentiality.
The only benefit Phillips actually has a leg on him because, to be honest, at some points I felt Phillips actually performed better when he was healthy. And 2,
I think Phillips can do more.
And he has, he's younger, so you got that going for you too. So that's why I think Phillips is a better buy.
I think
why are we even looking at this guy? We just renegotiated Chubb. That's the other question.
Well, that's kind of what Dolphin fans are putting the pieces together with. They're like, hey, we got $19 million off a Chubb deal. We could just parlay that. Now, if you're telling me that $19 million gets you Bosa, when I look at what Myles Garrett just got for 40, you're kind of like, well, right. Could you imagine if he was on this team? Bosa, Chubb, Chop, Phillips. Are you kidding me?
Nuts.
That would be nuts. And they still have the tender on Cameron Good as well. Those are our 5 edge rushers.
Here's one other thing to look at. We were complaining about Ogba getting 15 mil, right? So Ogba getting 15 million a year, and we're going to go to Joey Bosa, who's going to get, let's just say,
I don't want to give him 19, but I'm just saying I could parlay that into him.
I get it. I don't think that we're going to do that. I really think this is just a ploy to get him a bag at a different location. That's what I'm saying.
Now, yes, if you're telling me someone wants to buy the name recognition and sell that to their team, Jets, then yes, I could see that. But if we're talking the ilks of a contract, now maybe the Dolphins don't give him. Maybe I would rather than pay him say $18 million for 1 year in a prove it year deal versus to within or say like 16 million and 16.5 million guaranteed, but you can make up to 20 million for a 1 year prove it deal if he would be willing to do that. But listen to the deal that Greg Rousseau signed with the Bills. It's a 4-year extension worth $80 million, but it has a guarantee amount of $54 million. The guaranteed dollars is only amounting to $13.5 million a year. That's it.
I guess that would be okay. I would have it personally if it's me though. I would have this deal, whatever we give him, if this is who we're targeting and we're really getting him, right? I would have make it incentive based on staying healthy, because that's Joey's biggest problem. He's never been, in my opinion, healthy enough to compete an entire season. And you go the last 2 years, he's been injured, non-existent. You know what I mean? I think that we need it would have to be incentive based on how many games did you complete in the season. But I do understand 13 mil does sound a lot better. I'll take it. You know?
Yeah, 13.5 mil.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're, and I'm just saying, as I don't know the numbers between Bosa and Rousseau, but in the grand scheme of effectiveness, time missed, and what their impact on the game is, I don't think they're probably that far off, right?
Yeah.
And in a, what is it, 4-year sample size for both of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So taking those numbers into consideration, that's kind of what I got to think you can be competitive for his services.
Is this the year we bring back Dolphin Legacy? Is this the year we actually bring Legacy back to the Dolphins? Cap?
Legacy in what way? By names?
Well, Joey Bosa's dad played for the Dolphins.
He did.
That, right?
I know that, but
and he was damn good too when he was here. So I
absolutely. I mean, listen, on legacy alone, I think fans would enjoy it, and I think you would see a lot of jerseys bought with Bosa written on the back if he came here.
It has Dolphins MO all over it.
Oh, it 1,000,000% does.
And in addition, you look at it, this draft has 2 other legacy players, Jason Taylor's son and Oronde Gadsden's son, in the same draft. Is this the year we bring legacy back to the Dolphins? That's all I got.
Hey, you know what? I'll tell you what. Why not? Right? I mean, we've tried a lot of other things. If we're gonna really go for broke, let's just get Jason Taylor's son at tight end, get Oronde Gadsden's son at tight end. Transfer one of them into a slot if you can as you move them around, and then probably going to be Taylor in the slot. Bring in Joey Bosa, and who else can we go out there and get as far as legacy? Because there's somebody else.
Trade the number 1 pick and go get what's his name? The corner from the Broncos. Trade 2.
Oh yeah, go get Surtain. Go get Surtain.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's bring back all the greats.
F the picks.
yeah. Fuck it. At least listen. Jerseys will be fun.
Yeah,
I'll be proud to wear any one of these jerseys when I have their names on them.
I would be busting out the old jerseys I own. If we bring Surtain back, I'm busting out the Surtain.
But what's great is that it would also, the throwback jersey, you could buy the new one in support of the new guy, but keep it for the pops too. Yeah. So there's a whole thing happening here.
I'm really just kidding. I don't want to trade the picks and bring all the legacy back.
No.
But what I'm saying is that is this the year we do it, because the Dolphins have tried everything else, and I've been talking about, as a fan, I wanted a Bosa here because of his dad. I would prefer Nick, but at this point, I'm not going to be choosy. I don't understand. One thing is, I don't understand this position that we're targeting right now. You know what I mean? We got 3 guys.
I mean, yeah. Well, listen, if you can't, it's like saying, all right, we need so much in so many areas. So rather than spread out and try to build all things up, let's just get so top heavy that maybe we'll fall forward. Maybe Why not? At this point, what do we got to lose? I'm ready to get radical with change and difference up in here. Let's go 5 tight ends on the roster, 6 pass rushers, and only 2 wide receivers. And we're going to figure this out.
Let me just bring this one part of it to you, El Cap. This is something that we have to think about also. Last season, we saw us address the offensive line in certain aspects, right? They added depth there, bringing in a Chris Paul, right? Or Patrick Paul, I'm sorry, Patrick Paul. And then we heavied up on the defensive end position when we really didn't need it, right? We needed more defensive tackle, and we didn't touch that position. I'm just kind of worried if like we're doing the same thing again. We're going heavy on defensive end and wide, and we also touched the wide receiver room. Are we going to do that again and like do the same experiment again? That's why I'm just kind of worried about it, just a little bit. You know, maybe I just have PTSD from last season. I don't know.
I think they're going to do what they like to do, and exactly what you're saying is probably the way it's going to go, because what do you think they're going to do? They're going to switch up and go big, tall, box them out wide receivers and get away from this speed, timing, open window. They're not going to do it. That's what I don't listen. Dolphin fans are talking about all these we're going to get a running back, get these guards. That's not what's going to happen. It's not what's going to happen. You guys don't know and don't want to hear it. You dream up, you talk about these things, but you can't see what's right in front of your friggin' face. They are not switching this up to a power run scheme team. They're not going to do it. They're not switching it up to these big body blocking type of wide receivers that can box guys out with their size and strength. That's not what they're doing. They're going to go speed. They're going to go timing. They're going to go spread. They're going to do dump pass screens underneath, and they're going to try to have like a counter punch with the in between the tackles run every now and again, but it's only to manipulate linebackers closer or safeties in positions. And once they do, they will take that formation and then call a fucking motion in behind it and throw the ball. And teams will just rather say, hey, we'll let you run 3-4 yards here and there as long as you're not popping it out to the outsides on us. And eventually we're going to win the game because you're not going to do anything else. And the only thing you can hope for is that some of these little timing route slants and bullshit like that break a tackle and they make them pay with their speed. That's what we do. That's what our identity is. That's what they're going to do.
That's what we're going to do.
That's what they're going to do.
Here's the other part, and I just want to say this real quick because I know you get heat for it every day in the Twitter spaces.
I get heat everywhere I go for this shit.
So I think we owe it to our audience to just be real, right? Don't sugarcoat anything. You know, don't put the powdered sugar on it. I'm not doing that, right?
No.
The reality is
we ain't doing toots and takes over here. We're doing honest takes.
Since 2 years ago, you and I have been trying to tell people, but nobody wants to listen, even though it just keeps happening, that we're a fan of a team that happens to be a cash cow. And the rancher is Stephen Ross and the Collective, right? They're the ranchers, right? They're young. It's like Yellowstone herding the cattle, right? That's what they're doing to us, squeezing every single penny out of us. And I'm going to tell you straight up, the plan is to change or do as little as possible and make as much money as possible doing it. That's what they do. They repackage whatever you think is wrong and try to turn around and make, we made this one singular move. It's going to change the whole outlook. Right? That's why when everybody saw Jonathan Allen get released, Twitter went psycho and broke the internet from Dolphin Twitter, right? That's what happens year in and year out. Year in, we're sitting there with our wallet that feels lighter while the Brinks trucks are lining up next to the stadium taking millions and millions of dollars. Right? There's a reason why Stephen Ross and team raised the season ticket prices, right? And had nothing to show for it on the field, right? Because they know what they're doing. They're like, well, we don't want to lose all the money, so let's raise the money now, right? That's basically what they do year in and year out. And it's up to us as a fan base to either accept it or deny
or
it.
recognize it and call it out.
And
You
call
got
it
to
out.
recognize it
Yeah.
and call it out. And
Yeah.
you know, Ali, I don't know if you heard me earlier, but you know, I was talking about some of the moves that the Steelers have been making. You know, getting DK. There's talk about the Steelers are heavy favored to go after Sam Darnold, and like, imagine if they bring Sam Darnold over there. The Steelers doing what they can, and currently, right now, they still got some money. Right, Pittsburgh currently right now has $63 million. Now this is probably a little bit before the DK Metcalf, but we don't know the guaranteed dollars that are going to account against this cap. They're going to have money that if they can get Sam Darnold and convince him to come there, to say, hey, we've got a defense, we've got stability, we want to give you a couple years. We just got you DK Metcalf. We know you can play in the cold. We want to see what you can do here in Pittsburgh, because I think they perceive themselves to be outside of any quarterback worth the shit. But here's the thing, and I asked Color this earlier. I said, is this DK Metcalf to the Steelers a reaction because fans were calling for Mike Tomlin? Like, it was open with the fans. They were critical of him. And I also said, is it also added pressure because Philadelphia just won a damn Super Bowl? They are competitive. They're not in the AFC and the NFC together, but they are super competitive in the geological sense. Like, there's added pressure. So he, you know, Color said, and I agree, that Mike Tomlin's not worried about losing his job, but he ain't sitting on his hands either. So what say you, Ali?
Look, I think the move. I think the move for the Pittsburgh, just the position and the player alone, is definitely, you can tell that Pittsburgh is trying to compete and they're doing whatever it takes, right? In my opinion. But I just want to remind Dolphins Twitter, because our audience, because Dolphin Twitter getting all upset at Chris Grier saying he was sleeping. And he could have traded, Waddle in a fourth, or traded our second round pick and got DK Metcalf. Why didn't we do it? Dolphins fail again, is what another YouTube channel is saying on Twitter, right?
Ooh,
Did
yeah.
we fail? Did we fail? Let me ask you if we failed, because let's not forget,
Turn up.
signed a $150 million extension to go to said team. So if you're paying $150 million, I know it's not fully guaranteed. I get that. But $150 million is a lot. We're complaining about Tyreek getting 130 mil, right? We're complaining about that, but we want to go ahead and turn around for that? No, I'm sorry. You can't have it both ways. The reality is this. For the Steelers, positionally, and what they're trying to do and win now, I think it's great. And this is the first time we're going to get to see Justin Fields to have a real wide receiver.
Or Sam Darnold. Or Sam Darnold. I'm telling you, man, they're going to be in the Sam Darnold sweepstakes.
We've seen Sam Darnold with real receivers at Minnesota. We haven't seen Justin Fields with a real receiver yet in his career, right? So that's why I'm excited for it, for like Pittsburgh on that end of it. Their team.
You didn't like Alshon Jeffries? You didn't like Alshon Jeffries?
I wasn't a fan. No.
I thought he was all right. I don't think he's as good as DK Metcalf by any.
No.
Not even close. I think he's Christian Kirk-esque.
But look at the receivers they had it as the Chicago when Justin Fields was there.
I know they had fucking more
Fields, but never gave him any weapons whatsoever.
I know, dude. Well, gave him weapons, but they overpaid for bad weapons, is what they did. And Chicago typically does that, because then they get that.
In my opinion, if you're overpaying for bad weapons, that means you have no weapons.
I agree. But
no.
Let's not. I gotta say, I don't think Justin Fields is that good. Listen, Justin Fields is much of a decent running quarterback, and the stupid strength he has with the arm. I just don't know if he possesses the mechanics and the internal clock to make those work down in and down out and remain effective as a starting quarterback. Could you give him big time weapons and him kind of be a guy that makes big time plays? If that's what you want to live and die by, I'm going to have big time throws and big time runs and try to overcome any mistakes with a defense. I could see them pulling it off with a turnover defense. If their defense is, killing it in the turnover margin and number one in fumbles and interceptions and shit like that, along with a big play machine of I'm gonna just air this bitch out, or I'm going to scramble and run and, little maybe. But he doesn't effectively hit screens and zips. Everything seems like he's so it's hard for him to take velocity off of the ball. I don't know what it is. He just doesn't have that mechanical part and timing part that I think
you're absolutely right. I kind of think I don't want to say it's a mechanical problem. I think it's a timing problem with him. I don't know what it is, because if you go watch,
I said that an internal clock, and it kind of just has that perfect mesh.
If you look at his tape at Ohio State, right? Guy was off the charts. The guy couldn't miss. The guy had the strongest arm in the college at one point. Took Trevor Lawrence, toe to toe. You know what I'm saying? In back-to-back seasons. So that being said, I'm just excited for him only for the fact that this is the one time you get to see him with real weapons. And if he performs and he's the guy, then awesome. If he doesn't, then fine. He's bust, like everyone said. But you can't say anything else. Here we have the weapons. The quarterback hasn't really proven anything yet. That's kind of where we're at. So we're in a little bit different situation. You know what I'm saying? Who's Costa Nostra?
It's Costa Nostra, dog. I did want to get on this earlier, but so much to talk about because we haven't been on in a while. But also, and it just seems to be like a waterfall of breaking news as well. Did you see the Odell Beckham that just got released like an hour ago?
Who called it, bro? Who called it? I've been telling you.
Well, I got to be honest. Odell Beckham seemed to always have a little bit of off-field, some kind of stuff. Now, I don't know if it's kind of because he's an eccentric. That's what people would say. But when he got here in Miami, he just seemed like there was something always else on his mind. And now what's crazy is there was – so I forget which podcast it was. But Drewski, okay, he's a famous podcaster guy. He's the heavy set black dude that has like the curly hair, that with blonde in it. And he was just on a podcast and they were kind of dogging on him. I want to say it was Matt and Shane's podcasts, whatever it was. They whatever podcast he was on. They were like, you used to hang out with the Diddy and stuff like that. He's like, yeah, but I never did no that. Well, okay, we know Odell Beckham had that video that came out years ago with him looking to be sexually inappropriate with Justin fucking Bieber in like a nightclub. I don't know what the hell was going on. The whole thing was weird. I know this. I've got a lot of friends. And you wouldn't catch any of us ever playing around on videotape the way Odell Beckham and Justin Bieber were. And it was just awkward as fuck. Anyhow, this new latest allegation of Odell Beckham and Drewski have been named as defendants in Ashley Farham's amended lawsuit against Diddy, where both of these men are accused of, it rhymes with grape. Okay, that's what we'll say. And
yeah,
this is what a quote from her. Now, listen, this is allegedly, right? Both have been known to have been seen, hang out, and party with Diddy. We know Diddy's got some shit happening. And, I mean, fuck, the kids will be like, pause, no Diddy. I mean, it's like a whole thing right now. It's just, we're kind of making it in pop culture and be funny, but a lot of very serious allegations going on here. But this is a quote from Ashley Parham's amendment in her lawsuit. It says, instead of immediately graping plaintiff, Drewski doused plaintiff with more oil, lubricant and jumped on top like a slip and slide.
Damn.
First of all, Drewski's a big dude. How large is this young lady? Because Drewski jump on you. Geez, say that twice, 5 times fast. He jumps on you in a slip and slide fashion with more oil, because we do know the oil, the lubrications at the Diddy house was a high commodity. It seemed to be flowing like wine in the Greek Middle Age mythology. I don't know. Fuck it. Yes. So, and it sucks because what do they got on all the stuff? It's either a picture of Drewski and or OBJ, but always OBJ and Drewski. Whenever OBJ is showed, he is in a Miami Dolphins. For what did he get us? Like 9 fucking yards last year and like 8 drops. What was his total yards? How much money did we spend on him? For all of the money spent on OBJ,
we spent like $3.5 million.
Whatever it was.
Yeah.
He got like per snap, he made like $100,000 a snap.
And he only
this
caught
is
3 passes.
This is what we get.
This
is what we get, bro.
Yeah, but to be honest though, and I'm going to be frank with you and true to my audience, right? Honest takes. And I've been saying this, that I really felt that Odell, the reason we got Odell so cheap is because they knew about this. And this is
why would you sign him and know it though?
Because we needed somebody, bro.
No, we don't.
Somebody.
I don't need anybody that bad.
And they thought, okay, $3.5 million, it's not going to be that big of a deal. And if you think about it, everything that that Odell did, and his whole mentality of the game and everything.
Fuck, I agree, bro.
It makes sense why he was like talking about not thinking about football. Obviously,
Grier helping a brother out, dog. This is Grier helping a brother out. And if that's, you know what's crazy is, Ali?
Yeah.
I'm laughing because I'm like, no. But inside, I agree with you with everything you're saying for all the reasons you're saying. And just like Finn's New Jersey says, he goes, Grier helping a brother out. Like, why not? Why? Like, of course. Yeah, OBJ, we know you got some weird Diddy shit going on. And that's when all that Diddy shit happened, right? It's like he knew it was coming down the pike, and then it kind of did. He knew like a month before all of us. The walls, maybe he was one of them snitching. I don't know. Fuck. Either way, why do I gotta deal with this shit?
But I don't know, bro. The only reason we signed him, I really think, is we knew we could get it so cheap. And look at it, even when he finally got
what Coaster says. Once again, TFTG turned into another Maury Povich, Sally, Jesse, Raphael, Jerry Springer show. I didn't fucking go to the Diddy party. That was Odell and Drewski. But I didn't go. I'm not fucking accused of this. I'm just saying here it is on the plight of us to deal with now. Fuck.
You know what? It's funny he brought up Maury, right? Because out of all these people, right, that he just mentioned, the one thing that's in common is that just like the Maury show, guy pulls out an envelope and he looks at it and goes, you know what?
You are not the father.
Test results show that TFTG is your daddy and been right the entire time.
Oh, Coaster, we are your father.
Every time we tell you this shit, it ends up a week, maybe a couple months down the road. Oh my God, TFTG was right the whole freaking time. Every time, El Cap, every time. Bro. Same thing with Vic Fangio. The haters came out to come at you about Vic Fangio. Look what happened. He became our coach, just like you said. Oh, you guys are talking all this shit about Lamar Jackson. Oh, what happened in the news? All the reports came out that we were talking about Lamar Jackson. All the shit about Deshaun Watson we talked about. Oh, look what happened in the news. They all said you were wrong, but guess what? The tape doesn't lie, and it says every day, all day, TFTG is your daddy because we're always right.
Thank you, Maury. The test results are in, and we are your daddy. Yeah, it sucks because when we got OBJ and everyone was all fuck OBJ, I'm like, man, why are we getting this dude? And when we right off rip, it was like, yo, something's going on with this guy. What? None of it made sense. And then I always thought he was mixed up in some weird shit. Anyhow, I always thought, he kind of, what do they say? He's a switch hitter. What do they call it? Ali? What do they call that?
I don't know what they call it. I don't partake.
I think it's a switch. I think it's a switch hitter, or he hits the ball both ways, or something like. I don't know. Something like that.
Sides.
I guess I don't know. Whatever it is. Anyhow, I always just assumed he was lighting the loafers for a little bit more direct. And but I know he's got this. I just always known there was some fucking freaky shit going on with him. Ever since I seen this fucking video, I swear to God, I'll never forget it. It was like before TikTok, it was Instagram. And it was OBJ while he was with the freaking he was with the New York Giants. And he was at his house. And this was when he was like super celebrity mode, seen with Diddy. That video of him and Justin Bieber kind of like came out around that time, which was really fucking weird. But he was in his house and there's like this catwalk up on the top story or the second story of the house. And he's down the end of the hall and he's listening to this rap music. And he is fucking twerking so hard. And I'm like, yo, bro, no fucking dude I know can throw it like that, bro. That's just no fucking buddy can throw it like that. I was like, this guy's a fucking freak, bro. Anyhow, him being mixed up in this is something now I got to deal with. And it sucks.
Shout out to the person that messaged me on Twitter. I won't give out his name, but he just reminded me. Guess, another name we were right about?
What's that, buddy?
You and Lewis were right before anybody else. Stephon Diggs. Let's not forget. I was calling that shit from day one.
Oh my
and
God,
no one
dude.
believed me. And lo and behold, I was right.
Dude, that year going into it, we were like, yo, shit ain't going good between Stephon Diggs and the team right now. And they're going to get rid of his ass. And they were Bills fans. Holy fuck. And you know what's crazy? Ultimately, Teron Armstead will be on the team. Everybody's like, Teron Armstead took this. I've been fighting back with people, straight up. Fighting back. Oh, look, Shake made it in. All right, let's get Shake in here. Shake.
What's going on?
What's going on, buddy?
Iron Shake.
What's going on?
Fuck, I just had it. Oh, when Teron Armstead was being talked about, like he's gonna take a deal, but he's gonna stay with the team. Everybody's like, oh, he took this pay cut. He's gonna now retire. I said, no, he ain't retiring. He's gonna stay here. And now there's still people they're working under this assumption that he is retired from the Dolphins. And I'm telling you, he is playing on this team next year for a fact. Start. I would like to think they don't want him to start, but there's not a certainty that he won't be the starting left tackle week one for whatever reason, whether there's a physical thing that happens or there's a setback in progression for effectiveness that they feel comfortable with their injury-prone quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa, and passing off to second-round pick Patrick Paul. So take it to the bank. Another thing we'll be right about here at TFTG, Ali. Teron Armstead gonna be playing with the Dolphins. So
yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Everything you told me, I believe now, Cap. Because you're never wrong, and like I said, every time we say something, it ends up becoming true. Here's another one that's kind of crazy. I'm getting reports that the Jets are interested in Marcus Mariota.
yes, and the Jets are probably not gonna have a very good luck in this market because let's face it, the top free agent quarterback on the market is Sam Darnold, who's not going to go to the Jets. Jonnu Smith, not going to go to the Jets. The Jets quarterbacks that other teams are looking to get have already failed in New York and will probably not go back there. So Marcus Mariota, Carson fucking Wentz, these are the types of guys that are going to get opportunities to start. Question is, does Marcus Mariota even want to start football? Does Carson Wentz is making, say, double the money to be the starter 1 year for the Jets worth taking half the money as a backup for Miami?
There's one name that I actually forgot. I almost forgot he was in this league still. Let's also not forget about Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's still out there.
He is still out there, but I don't know how many people are going to be.
I don't think anybody wants him, to be honest.
Yeah, I got to be honest. I don't think a lot of people want him.
Arizona, I would take him in. If I'm the Arizona organization, I'm moving off Kyle Murray. I would take him there just as a Band-Aid until you can get the guy.
What do you think, Shake?
About what?
I don't know. What do you think about anything, buddy?
I don't know. It's just this. I think we're gonna get. We're not gonna this free agency. I don't think we're gonna get any impact players. We're just gonna get depth players at this point. I'm hoping that we do get Fries. Will Fries. That's the one player I hope we do come up with the draft with.
Well, the Dolphins have placed some exclusive tender rights on Cameron Good and tackle Keon Smith. They also placed, because they have they signed a right to refusal on Kader Kohu, which basically means teams are going to be able to field offers for him, but Dolphins can match it and it not cost them anything or anything to that nature. Really, there's just a lot of. I mean, look, the Dolphins aren't in a good place as far as what they are missing on their team. So they need to add some stuff, but I just want to point out, I'm going to share this here. Here's Dolphin fans at, what time is it? Well, it's spring forward, so it's almost 11 p.m. Okay. Been going for an hour and a half now. And Dolphins fans, we're out here hard at work trying to, let's see. Hold on a second. Trying to, think about what we're going to do for this team and who we're going to add and, all that stuff. And we're looking at free agency. Dolphins, the only move we've made is re-sign Jonnu Smith to a 2-year new deal of $10 million, stuff like that. And where do you think Tua Tagovailoa's at? Do you think he's getting ready? It's crazy because I seen who was it? Jalen Hurts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like a week after the Super Bowl or whatever, he was fucking grinding. Tua couldn't even end the season. Remember, there was what did they officially give his injury? Was it a concussion? Was it the hip? What was the official injury? Do you guys remember? Because it's always funny, the Dolphins at the end of Tua, when he doesn't play the end of the year, the injury's super obscure. You don't really know what it is. They're not telling you if it's the hip. They're not telling you if it's a head injury. You don't really know.
I don't know exactly what the team officially announced. I want to say it was something to do with his hip. The only person that actually gave an actual name to what it is exactly was Dan Marino on Pat McAfee's show, called it a hip pointer.
He did. I'm glad you pointed that out because that's the only thing we got as it being something, as a hip pointer. And those can require surgery at times, but whatever. So hip pointer to, would you think there'd be some rehab? Like, what do we do? Like, what do you guys think Tua's doing to prepare himself? Well, I have a picture of someone got from Tua. Can you see it? Hold on.
No.
Here we go.
Oh, look at him with his full sleeves.
Peak male performance. Peak physical performance.
He's got a dad bod already.
Well, he is a father. I'm gonna put this on full screen just so everybody could see.
It kind of looks like Tua went to his doctor and asked about this new prescription drug called Couple of Beers, right? Because that's
Couple of
actually
Brujas.
I'm not gonna lie. The last few times you've seen photos of Tua, he's been drinking a couple of beers, and if you look at that stomach, it looks like it's doing its job, filling them in just right.
Oh yeah. Hey, listen, beers are good for some carbs, right? Maybe he's trying to go fat Tua.
Yeah.
Are we getting thick Tua? I mean, I guess it's kind of safe to say we're getting thick Tua back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
What do you think, Shake? Thick
Yeah.
Tua?
Yeah, we're gonna get him back. Yeah. No scramble Tua.
No what?
No scrambling Tua.
No scrambling Tua. Well, we don't need scramble Tua. He doesn't do it anyhow.
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me we're getting center blocks Tua?
We're getting whatever. I mean, sure. We only need him to be fast inside a 5-yard bubble. That's it. I need him to be able to go timing, throw, not there, go this way or that way, depending on what the play is. If it's not there again, throw it the fuck away. Do not run. That's got to be plan A when it comes to Tua. It's do your play, either play action or your drop back in steps. You get read here, read there. If they're closed, you move to your left or move to your right. If that second window scheme thing isn't open, throw it away. And that's what they're going to have to do. And he can't, I don't want him rolling out around. Fuck all that. I don't want him to do it. I just want him to get rid of the ball because there's just no point because it's not going to end well. Whether it's what I need and what I wish he could do, he can't do it. So I'm not going to ask him to anymore and see what happens. And maybe then when he plays season healthy and doesn't do all those things, they can then say, yeah, it's because he can't. And maybe we got to move it off. Finn's New Jersey says Tua scrambling looks worse than my baby's first steps. Damn.
Damn. That's rough. I feel bad.
That is rough.
Actually, is that a diss on Tua? Is that a diss on his baby? I would say
the baby's cooking, right? Baby's cooking because Tua's getting a lot of money. All right, just to go back over what moves have happened back in free agency, names coming off the board. We've already run through quite a bit here. Denver Broncos re-signed Jarrett Stidham to a 2-year, $12 million deal, $7 million guaranteed for a backup quarterback. Chiefs re-signed 1-year contract Marquise Brown for $11 million, which was, pretty surprising, especially because the Chiefs make these moves and they're under, like they're negative $9 million in cap. They're number one in negative cap right now. So they're going to have to make some hard decisions here in the future. And they kind of put themselves in that position on Jump Street. They also,
so it's
I mean, they can, I guess if, they'll figure that out. They also got offensive. They re-signed a non-exclusive franchise tag on Trey Smith, the guard, which Dolphin fans were looking to see if they could get a hold of him, but they're going to pay him $23.4 million on that. And they're hoping to get a deal done. So there is some work in that end. They also re-signed to 3 years, $45 million, $30 million guaranteed, the linebacker Nick Bolton. And they tendered the rights for Matt Ariza, as you guys probably remember a long time ago. So they got that too. So there's their spending. The Raiders acquire via trade Jonnu Smith. We already talked about this. Via a 3rd-round pick. Seahawks loading up on picks. They're not doing so good with the team they were possessing. They had a little bit of a fun time there with Geno, but they are shedding cap and loading up on picks. And I forget, where did the Seahawks pick in this year's draft? Do you remember? I don't remember. Ali, can you look that up real quick?
I know you didn't bring this up, but there's speculation of New England Patriots trading for AJ Brown, who Vrabel didn't want to trade in the first place. That was the thing.
Yes, so there is that, especially with the Vrabel connection, and they've got the money
Yeah,
too.
they definitely have the money. But here's the thing, though. One thing you have to take a grain of salt any rumor you hear about the Eagles. And the reason for that, if you know who their GM is and their front office and how they work, they listen to every offer. It doesn't matter if they're looking or not. If someone calls them, they're going to listen. And they take all the calls.
Well, they do. But, I mean, listen, the Eagles have almost the same money as the Dolphins. Like, they got $22.5 million. Dolphins got 25 plus million or whatever it is. Now, there is some little bit of wiggle room and a couple $1 million for both those teams. And listen, Miami Dolphins, like a lot of teams, have players that they possess that they could re-sign. So they're sandbagging their numbers right now. But the Seahawks purging their roster, they've got about almost $70 million now in cap space. So trading to the Raiders, Jonnu Smith for a 3rd round pick. They got the 2nd rounder for DK. They're loading up on picks. Raiders also signed Alex Kappa, their 2-year, $11 million deal at the guard position. They also signed a 3-year extension for $106.5 million with $91.5 million guaranteed to Max Crosby. So that was a no-brainer for them. He's now the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history per average salary. They said that was before the Myles Garrett thing. So now Max Crosby, Myles Garrett, these big-time pass rushers, which, again, right, if I'm looking at when DK Metcalf says he wants $30 million and they ultimately give him $132 million or whatever, $123 million, whatever it was, $150 million, and he gets that money, it's because he's a different level between him and Christian Kirk. Max Crosby, different level between him and Joey Bosa. When we were talking about this stuff earlier, they also signed 2-year extension for their safety. Whatever. Just looking to see any other big names. Oh, the other huge signing that happened during all this was the Philadelphia Eagles with the Saquon Barkley 2-year extension of $41.2 million in new money, $36 million guaranteed at signing with $15 million in incentives, shattering the running back market. And, lots of moves be happening. Another move that got a little bit of talking about was the Niners trading away Deebo Samuel for a 5th round pick to get off of that dead cap, just like I told Niner fans that wanted to argue with me on the internet when I told them about their team, like, you're getting ready to get rid of talent. You have to purge your roster. They're trying to first of all, the Niners also, with their head coach Shanahan, they literally dialed it back on a year to get a real assessment of Brock Purdy and what he can do and what he's worth. I told everybody it when it was happening. I told them all it before it happened. And I just didn't want to. You can look at it and tell me, oh, this happened and that. No, they prepared themselves to dump talent, find out what they can get a real assessment of their quarterback, because what they had built and kept failing and now have postseason fatigue wasn't working. They needed to pivot. And that's what they did. You know who did that? The Eagles did it a few years ago. And look what they did. Now, can they have an Eagles resurgence build back? I don't know. I'll tell you what, if they try to do it around Brock Purdy, it ain't going to fucking work. It ain't going to work if you're going to do it with Brock Purdy. Because Patrick Mahomes or fucking Lamar Jackson or somebody from the AFC on the other side ain't going to let Brock Purdy beat him in that game.
Thing, though, El Cap, every time we think that it's not going to work, right? The 49ers find themselves right back in the mix.
But are they winning?
Championship game.
That's fine, but are they winning the Super Bowl?
No, I don't think they are. But here's the point, though. The teams that continuously are contenders, right? They have the balls to pivot when it's not working. Same thing with the Eagles, right? They tore that defensive line up and down after just being at the Super Bowl, right? Had all new front line and right back at it already there. And look, they won it, right? And how many times have you seen the 49ers do it, right? What's crazy to me is the fact that not 3 years ago, we were in talks to supposedly get Debo, and we offered them a fortune and they said no. They were willing to bet on that, then turned around and traded his ass for what? A 4th round, 5th round pick, right? I think it's nuts, bro. I think it's nuts that they have balls to just say, you know what? We won't take the fortune. We'll bet on it. Oh, it doesn't work. We don't care. Bye-bye. And they start all over again. No problem. I think it's crazy, but it's awesome at the same time.
So some other stuff that's happened. Notable, Aaron Jones signs a 2-year, $20 million extension with Minnesota. The Detroit Lions release Zadarius Smith, which they save 5.75 in cap space. I don't know what the thinking is behind that with them, but hey, whatever. I didn't see the move coming. I guess the $5.5 million they need. Let me take a gander here real quick. Yeah, the Lions have $55 million. Maybe they're gearing up to pay somebody big money. Maybe the Lions go get Bosa. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the Lions look to add some big time talent. They've got the money. I don't know why they let go of Zadarius Smith. The Buffalo Bills release Von Miller, saving $8.3 million in cap. And I loved how I got to argue with Bills fans about the Von Miller signing. The day it happened for him, I laughed. I said, these idiots. This guy peaked in high school. He's done. He's cooked. He's good. He's great. He had great moves. But it was obvious, it was on that youthfulness of him. And he never got it going. And every year they're like, oh, he took less money because he's a good guy. I'm like, okay, whatever. If you look at what they bought and paid for and got back for Von Miller, and you look what the Dolphins bought and paid for and got back for with Teron Armstead, the Dolphins did way better with Teron Armstead than the Bills did with Von Miller. And it ain't even close. It's not even close. It's not. The first 2 years of Von Miller, I think he played like 3 games or some shit. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So, let's see some other stuff. Oh, the tender that the Dolphins put on Cater Cahu, which will allow him to get offers from somebody else. He will get a minimum of 3.263 from the Miami Dolphins for that tender. Now, if someone offers him a contract, 2 years, $12 million with $7 million guaranteed, the Dolphins could match it and, figure that out later. Let's see.
Who do you think would match? Who do you think would offer Cater Cahu a contract?
I don't know. I would imagine there's somebody out there that might, but I don't know, buddy. Like, corner is a need position, but he's a nickel corner technically, and a lot of that. What's up? No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say towards the end of the what do they call it? The episode. I have some college news I wanted to shout out real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
Shout out to the man, the myth, the legend, Eddie George, as he's been announced as the new head coach of Bowling Green State University, which was only 15 minutes down the road from my house. So
really,
that was fucking awesome. So shout out to him. I had to put that out there.
From your house.
The last big time coach that Bowling Green had, right?
Urban Meyer, baby.
Urban Meyer, that's right. Shake knew who I was talking about. So, but Eddie George, man, it's pretty cool. I'm happy for him, though. I'm happy for him.
I'm always have a spot in my heart for Urban Meyer.
Yeah, I hear you.
So right now, with the Eagles having some money, they still got to sign or let go of Milton Williams, who's 26. NFL has him ranked as the number 1 available free agent right now. And they also have Josh Sweat that I thought I heard that they were re-signing him. Hold on. No, they haven't signed him yet. In chat, did Sweat get re-signed? I thought I seen somewhere that maybe it's just that they want to re-sign him. I don't know.
He's what?
Josh Sweat. Anyhow, Chris Godwin's still out there. Darius Ward, Carlton Davis, some corners on the market, a couple of corners out there. Amari Cooper's still a free agent. Who will pick up him? Man, what a fizzle out. Maybe the Dolphins. Amari Cooper's 31 years old. Maybe bring him back here, to Miami.
As far as I can see, Mekhi Becton has not returned back to the Eagles as of yet, but he wants to. Could that be a guy that we actually throw money on? He is a guard, position in need.
I mean, I guess Will Fries is.
He does have the Chris Grier MO with being oftenly injured. Just going to point that out.
Well, we could also go Will Fries, who broke his tibia last year at 24. So, but he's ranked up here pretty high.
Yep.
I don't know, man. There's damn Khalil Mack's out there.
Yeah, Khalil Mack. He supposedly wants to come back to the Raiders or the Bears, I think.
I would be interested in seeing how cheap you can get Justin Reed for. Who's available out there? I mean, Cam Robinson, Justin Reed, these are some interesting potential.
So Raiders re-signed Adam Butler for 3 years, deal $16.5 million.
Yeah. Yep.
I will say, as expected,
I mean, a lot of people, a lot of people keep throwing around the name Kevin Zeiler or Zelter or whatever the hell his name is as an older guy to bring in here. I think he's done, dude. I don't know. I think if he goes anywhere as like a guy to help anybody, he'll probably follow Ben and Johnson to Chicago. But that's a name I keep seeing brought up because people are like, oh, it's going to be a cheap addition to add. But I could also see Chris Grier adding a 1 year X amount of $1 million, only this amount guaranteed for a Kevin Zeiler, which would be like $1 million guaranteed. But if another team signs him, that money is no longer guaranteed, right? That before week 1, which somebody probably will. So, but there's going to be this manipulation period where Chris Grier is going to fill perceptively all the positions of need on paper before we head into the draft. So then he can manipulate the draft board how he would like, or at least not show his hand for who he's targeting with the 13th pick. But there is some other, a guy that the Dolphins people were speculating that Dolphins could be linked to at the safety position was the kid from Arizona. I can't say his name, dude. He's a Hawaiian guy. Talina Hungfa.
Didn't he play for 49ers?
Oh, yeah, that's right. He played for the Niners. My fault. I don't know why I said Arizona.
Yeah, I forget who it is. I think it's Finn's Extra or something like that is predicting that he will be a Dolphin.
Yeah, somebody. No, I think it was PFN that I read it on.
PFN? Okay. I know it was one of them. It was one of them.
Yeah. And then also another free agent that's out there that we could probably get for low. And I don't know if this is a schematic, maybe edge player, but Chase Young's out there, bro. You think Weaver could
It depends on the money, bro, because he's a part-time player, not a full-time player. So that's kind of the issue.
well,
And
that's how it's going to be, the money.
Again, I'm not being biased here because he's an Ohio State player, and obviously I love them, but I'm telling you right up, we don't need any part-time players here. I want full-time players.
Here's a player that by noon tomorrow, if is not signed, Dolphins fans are going to start the wave about. They're going to start talking about bringing him here. The fans that we've kind of butt heads with. Najee Harris is still available. The Steelers have not yet extended him.
No,
He's going to be.
They didn't give him a 5th-year option either. So
Exactly.
Running backs don't really have money in their market right now, regardless of Eagles paying.
Look who's here. Crypto's here. What's up, Crypto?
Oh,
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I just took you off mute. What's up, buddy? Oh, I got you. Go ahead, Crypto.
Oh, this is a new StreamYard.
It's the other one.
Oh,
What do you think?
not bad. Well,
Nah, not bad. Not bad.
the only thing
So-
is, Crypto can't have his avatars of the.
you can't do the avatars on here no more.
If you have a computer and you go into the website itself, you can set up your avatar. It basically mimics whatever your email address avatar is.
The email address is avatar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it mimics.
But what if you had like 2 different emails? You got to use
I know one of them-
Whichever one you enter in.
Be here, but yeah.
And one of his email avatar is Devontae Parker.
I thought it was a close-up of a hot dog.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it Devontae
No.
Parker dogs? Is that what it is? Instead of being
No.
Parks, it's Devontae Parks.
Yeah, it's not
So
ball
what do you
parks,
go to,
it's Devonta Parks. Yeah, I like that,
Video
dude.
set?
Hell yeah.
So you got to be on the computer to do it.
Yeah, I mean to change the avatar, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it just says C
Oh.
right now, buddy. So, well, we were just going into some stuff in crypto. And I was saying that, come tomorrow at noon, because that's when the legal tampering period starts. The signings don't become official till Wednesday, which is so stupid. But
Oh, by the way, real quick, you talk about Devontae Adams to the Rams.
Oh yeah, Devontae Adams signed
Mhm.
with the Rams.
He's officially signed with the Rams. Okay,
yes.
yeah, I heard that on there.
But Najee Harris still has yet to sign with the Pittsburgh Steelers, crypto, and we know that come 12:01 tomorrow, Dolphins fans are going to be saying, "We need to get him. We need to get him. We need to get him. Bring him home for Tua. We need that. We need a premier starting running back to be
Bring
paired with a 1-2 punch. He's the power running back we need."
Oh yeah, they're bringing him
That's what they're
home.
gonna say.
They're bringing him home.
Bringing him home. What say you?
Wouldn't be surprising.
No, we don't need nobody. I don't think this team need any upgrades other than a backup for Eichenberg. That's the only upgrade we need.
Back up for Eichenberg.
Yes. That's the only upgrade, Ali, that this team need. We go nowhere without a backup, but we need a top flight backup for Eichenberg.
For Eichenberg, huh?
Yep, the top flight backup for Eichenberg. That's the best
And
way.
who's that going to be?
Maybe Zach Martin or somebody like that. Yeah,
Okay.
Zach Martin. He might work in real well. Top flight backup for Eichenberg. I'm thinking maybe, bring back what's his name from Oakland that got traded to KC? That guy. Was it Ogden? Not Ogden. Yeah. And then I think we're gonna reach new heights. You know, we're gonna be reaching new heights with that backup.
New heights.
Yeah, but in other words, we're not going to win a playoff game to 2060.
That's the new height, Shake.
Mm-hmm.
2060. Oh man, damn.
Now, I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering, right? Did the Jets trade him to the Rams?
No. He was released officially, and
Then how can the Rams sign him officially?
Because if you were released by a certain day,
okay,
that's what it is. If you're released, you can start negotiating now. If you were just a scheduled free agent, which means your contract was ended, like there was no releasing, those people have to wait until the tampering period to start negotiating.
All right. So just to give a quick idea here, Javon Hargrave has been they voided his contract for the Niners. So he's available. Stephon Diggs is available. Joey Bosa, Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper, Chris Godwin, Von Miller, Khalil Mack, Zach Martin, Deontay Johnson, Josh Allen, the inside linebacker, not the excuse me, interior defensive lineman. Sorry, Jonathan Allen. Cam Robinson for the Vikings, left tackle, is available. Harold Landry signed today with the Patriots, so this list needs to be updated.
Look, I know people like to hate on the Patriots, saying that they're trash and all this other stuff, but they're making moves. Vrabel is going to change that team, and
that's Vrabel's guy, and that's again. Remember, Landry was doing good, in Tennessee when Vrabel was there, and then he's been silent ever since he got paid, and Vrabel left. So it is what it is. Now he's going to go there for low money, 3-year deal. Anyhow, Draymond Jones, D lineman, is out there, which maybe that's a guy the Dolphins could look at, Draymond Jones, because we're going to need some tackle help. Tyler Lockett is available out there. I don't know, Hassan Reddick, Carlton Davis, Evan Ingram, Tre'Davious Ward, DeMarcus Lawrence, Chase Young, DeAndre Hopkins, James Bradbury. James Bradbury would be interesting because he's a little bit older. I don't know. Preston Smith, which I mean, what the fuck is Preston Smith? And then now we start getting a little bit more in the mud with guys. Zadarius Smith, who just got cut from the Lions. Matt Judon, who's out there. Maybe Matt Judon's a guy the Dolphins look to bring in as depth, having some time with Weaver. Keep a lookout for that with Matt Judon spending some time with Weaver back in his
How old is Judon now?
Judon's 33, but I'm just saying, as a depth piece guy on a minimum deal, the Dolphins could give themselves some spillage.
So I agree.
Yeah, give themselves some spillage with, not having to spend on, I don't know, whatever. So, who else? DJ Reed, Justin Reed. I'm looking at that Justin Reed, honestly, as a potential pickup at safety. I don't know what he's going to command on the open market, but I don't know. BJ Hill.
With that kid from the 49ers you mentioned earlier, though, I don't think it's going to cost very much. And
Tre'Davious Ward?
No, the Hawaiian kid that you
yeah.
You end up with a kid like that. I think that's who we end up with.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. With some potential upside, right?
Yeah.
Sam Hubbard, Mike Williams, Brandon Schiff, which I don't know. Do we bring in the guard from fucking Jacksonville who got beat up all the time? Probably. DJ Jones from the Broncos. Josh Sweat. I would love to bring Josh Sweat here. I don't know if they do it, though. Brandon Cooks. That's a sneaky third wide receiver option that the Dolphins can bring in here that could fit into this offense. Brandon Cooks, who's 32 years old, but it feels like he's been playing for like 20 years. He's gonna get a concussion. He's not gonna stay healthy all year. It's just his thing. But I'll be damned if he doesn't have like 3 games a year where he just goes off. It's crazy. Jonathan Jones, which I would be surprised if the Patriots don't bring him back. James Daniels, the Steelers' right guard. That's somebody to keep an eye on. He's 28. Maybe they could kick the tires on that. Ooh, look. Zach Wilson, backup quarterback extraordinaire, available. Byron Murphy.
If we do get a Zach Wilson, it definitely demographically it makes sense. I mean, we have more retirement homes than everywhere. You know, he's going to be all about those.
He could clean up, bro. He could clean up.
Yeah.
But there is somebody's favorite out there though too. There's Trey Lance is out there. He could look it up, baby. Trey Lance is out there. We know that.
That's what we need to go get.
That's what we need to go get. Now, I don't think we're going to spend the money at linebacker, but Dre Greenlaw, fuck, man, that would be sick to bring him here.
It would.
I think we could use that type of identity. Him with Brooks at the linebacker positions could give us a real freaking identity, bro. That would be awesome. I don't see us doing it, but
we do need a linebacker, so I do expect us to address the position either free agency or the draft. It will be interesting on what they do.
I've got another sneaky wide receiver option for the Dolphins to bring in here to put in the room. Robert Woods. He's 33. He's not going to cost a lot of money. But he was with he knows this system from being back with the whatchamacallit.
Wasn't he with Houston?
He was with the Rams, so he knows this system. He was with Houston last year. Too? Yes, he was with Houston last year, but just saying, as far as him being able to be cheap and play this system, somebody they can get for the low, Robert Woods might be available after the wave goes, because that's what's going to happen. They might have one person targeted.
Hey, El Cap, now that you mentioned that, remember the offensive coordinator for Houston last year is going to be our past offensive coordinator this year. So that's definitely going to be.
Yes, you're right. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, that's right. What's Stoic, right? Man? The Stoic guy?
Yeah, Stoic. Yeah. I didn't even think about that. Good thought. Good thought.
Yep.
So Justin Simmons is out there. That might be another name from the Falcons, a guy we could bring in, an aging veteran that's still got some life left in him for nothing. That's somebody that maybe the Dolphins bring in.
I have some news about the Greenlaw real quick.
What's that?
So Greenlaw, it's supposedly 49ers really do want to bring him back. However, there are at least 3 other teams that are vying for him. So
yeah, we're not going to be fighting for it.
I don't know. Maybe we're one of them. That just, it makes sense.
Maybe.
So I don't know. We'll see.
So, where was I? Ronnie Staley's out there. That would be, I doubt the Dolphins will be in for his services. Javon Kinlaw from the Jets is out there. Roy Robertson Harris from the Seahawks. I don't see. Rasul Douglas is out there. Now, he is a little long in the tooth, but do the Dolphins bring in a division rival and Douglas as maybe a rotation guy if they're going to say, get him in early and see if they can land somebody in the draft and have a backup plan maybe at cornerback, because they're going to need somebody opposite there.
Green Bay release their corner? Alexander?
Yes, I don't know, man. let's keep going. DeMarcus Walker is going to be available. Raekwon Davis going to be available. I would like to bring Raekwon back here on the low. That would be sick.
Is Lamar Jackson going to be available?
No.
Who? What player?
Damn it! What a bummer.
He said Lamar Jackson. Tyron Smith is ancient. Oh, you know who's going to be available? Dolphin fans can finally get him. I thought he re-signed though. Bobby Wagner with the Commanders. I thought I read somewhere he signed.
Josh Rosen.
Hold on.
Yeah, I thought he returned to the Commanders too.
I thought he was returning to the Commanders. I'm pretty sure that'll be the second thing that they didn't have up.
Here we go, Shake Money. I think you'll like this one. We're going to pick up Kyle Trask. He's going to be the starter too.
Yeah, he extended.
Yeah, they did. That's what I thought, bro. There's no way. God, to think he extended. He's 35 years old, bro.
Who's 35?
Bobby Wagner.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we don't. Not unless he's injured. That's when he peaks our interest. Unless he's injured.
I already said the right guard from the Lions, Kevin Zeiler, or whatever the fuck his name is, Zelter. Let's see. Cornerback Mike Hilton, Rashawn Jenkins, Marcus Epps for the Raiders. I remember him when he was with the Ravens, I think it was, and he was better there. Not so much with the Raiders. Deontay Jackson with the Steelers. Marcus Mariota is somebody whose name's going to be thrown around. Dolphins fans really are. I told everybody this a long time ago. Chances are it's Marcus Mariota as Tua's backup.
And then
That's
we're
just
gonna
the facts.
And then we're gonna draft DJ Ugele, and then we have the.
Yep, we're gonna unite the island of Hawaii in Miami.
We're looking at Hawaii 5-0. Is that where we're going?
Hawaii 305.
There you go.
Not gonna lie, it does sound like a soap opera, to be honest.
It certainly does, dude.
Oh, Shake. Oh, never mind. That was Shake. I was gonna say, Crypto got his avatar, but Crypto fell off. Never mind.
Oh, he did. Well, look, there's still, and then it's just a bunch of guys, right? Like it's names we can start rattling off. Some are more recognizable than others. We could look at Jamal Williams is out there. It's been a while since we heard from him, but he's a running back with the Saints. Jamal Williams. He had his time with the Lions. Now he ain't seen him since. Interesting enough, a pretty sneaky potential 1-year signing if the Dolphins can grab him. Patrick Ricard. I would take him over on a veteran minimum and get rid of Alec Ingold. That's what I would do. I would upgrade to a more power approach. But as I told you guys earlier, the Dolphins more likely than not are not going to pivot to power. They're going to lean into what they are because that's what they are. So we can talk about what they should do, but that's probably what's going to happen.
The Dolphins need to have their annual Man of the, Walter Payton Award finalists every year, and that's who Alec Ingold is every year.
Yep.
Nothing more, nothing less. So they need to have their guy.
Keep an eye on Najee Harris, and if teams start bidding for him or if he starts sliding because of the big contracts that were signed at the running back position with $10 million a year on average to Aaron Jones and then $20+ million on the with the Saquon Barkley. Do teams? I mean, look, Steelers chose to go wide receiver over running back. Did they look to say goodbye? They have that other guy. What's his name? Behind that runs in a 2-back system with Najee Harris. Najee wants the bag. I don't think the Dolphins give him the bag. I wouldn't give him the bag.
It's a bad year for running backs. This draft is loaded with running backs. Yeah. So I'm sorry, but it's a bad year. Who in their right mind is going to give a bag to a running back outside of Saquon Barkley? Okay, outside of that, who else is going to get a bag when you can pick a good running back up in every single round of this draft? I'm sorry, but it's pointless.
But yeah, now we're getting into DJ Chalk and Brian Anger and fucking older players. Casey Keenum's still playing. He was a backup for the Tech. It's crazy.
You know who I think we pick up at wide receiver?
Who?
A lot of people talked about him last season. They wanted him here. They wanted all 5'7" of him. Hunter Renfrow.
Oh yeah, bring Hunter. No, I'm thinking. Listen, if we're gonna go Hunter Renfrow, I say fuck that. For all the same reasons, give me the big plays of Brandon Cooks instead.
And there was some rumor about him retiring, and he commented on it. Oh, I'm retiring. Is that why I'm doing his workouts to come back? So he's ready to play. So yeah, that's probably what we're
currently right now. The Miami Dolphins hold, according to Spotrac, or excuse me, over the cap OTC, they're holding 25.1 million. Some reports coming out saying it's 30 million. There's a little discrepancies there. So we'll say 25 to 30 million. The number one team holding the most cap space is the Patriots with 120 plus $1 million. Beneath them is a team that just got rid of Nick Bosa, is the Chargers at 90 million. And then the Cardinals with 77 and the Commanders with 73 million. And the Commanders could pay, some of these guys. Do they go and get, what do they do? There's going to be some things happening, some different stuff going on for sure. But the Dolphins, I think with their 25, 30 million are sandbagging. I think the Dolphins will ultimately restructure Ramsey. I think they'll restructure Tua. I think they'll get that 19 million from Tua. I think they'll get 10 million from Ramsey, and we're going to turn around and they've got $60 million. That's what's going to happen. And then they're going to extend Zach Sealer, and that's going to shake loose a couple mil. They're going to, rework Waddle, and that could shake loose a couple mil. And that's how they're going to play it. And they're going to build it in the way in which they're probably going to make some additions, right, in the beginning, and let everyone overpay for whomever, whether it's Jonathan Allen that gets a bag as the big free agent signing, whatever backup quarterbacks get 15 million to play backup because they're going to draft somebody, stupid shit like that. Dolphins are going to play it. They probably have one or two guys that they perceive to be their Aaron Brewers and their Jordan Brooks of signings. And with those signings, they're also going to be targeting some of these other big name free agents that they say, hey, you're not getting what you want from these teams, vice versa. And then maybe it shakes loose the likes of, I don't know. They get a late signing of Staley, which, he's a little long in the tooth, but for the money he signs with the Dolphins, it tends to make sense or something like that. I don't know. But gonna be a wild one. And I'm gonna go live tomorrow at some point in the evening, probably around 9 tomorrow for an hour or so, just to recap what's happened. And we're gonna have some updates and some stuff. So I don't know. Any final thoughts, boys?
I know I'm going to go live Friday. This Saturday, we're doing another wrestling show, Saturday morning. On Tuesday, I'm thinking about doing a smoke lounge. That's going to be a good one, Tuesday.
Hell yeah.
And finally, the first Friday of April, I'm going to do my 2-year anniversary with the TFTG.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome, bro.
Yeah.
Fourth and 10U has a new episode coming out on Thursday, so be out for that. We'll be talking about our thoughts about what happened at the combine, and some other college news that's going on. What else? I think tomorrow's going to be wild, bro. Everybody is going to be all crazy and getting mad and crazy because the Dolphins are really not doing the moves that everyone thought they would make. So that's what my prediction is for tomorrow. And
no French fries for us, damn it.
Yeah,
no
French fries.
Yeah.
How about some hot dogs though, Crypto? Do the Dolphins grill hot dogs tomorrow?
I have French fries, Cajun fries,
Cajun,
maybe
No,
Cajun fries.
I'm gonna go out on a limb. We don't like any dogs here. There's no
There'll
dog
be Oscar.
pound in
Only hot
Miami.
dogs allowed is Oscar Mayer.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here, Crypto, and say there's no dogs in Miami. There's no dog pound here in Miami. Everybody likes their furless cats, so that's what's gonna end up happening. We're gonna have a bunch of furless cats here in Miami. So, and if they're
By
from
the
the
way, when
Pacific
I
Northwest,
have hot dogs,
them all. That's what's
by the way,
gonna
when I eat hot dogs now, I get those pretzel buns. They're off the chain.
happen.
Get a
Pretzel
hot dog
bun and
pretzel
Oscar
bun.
Mayer. There you go. Oscar Mayer with pretzel bun.
Oh man.
Well, y'all are nasty. I think the Dolphins are going to be very shrewd tomorrow, and they're going to bite their time. They're going to come out right off rip like everybody with a list of name signings. They're going to be a mixed bag of names you recognize and names you go, who the fuck is that? Whether the names you recognize are older guys like a Jimmy Garoppolo, ding, 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 ding. I don't know who said that, but keep a lookout. Been saying it for a minute. A couple of other players too that I've been talking about. Look for them to sign. Hinted at a couple today, so keep a lookout for those guys. But other than that, all in all, measured up to what other teams are doing, Dolphin fans will be left feeling empty. There will be overhype for some signings we got, and then what's funny is there's ultimately, whenever this wave over the next few days comes, there's going to be a high signing that Dolphin fans going to be really happy about for whatever reason, and he will get cut and never play before week 1.
Right. There you
I'm
go.
telling you. It'll be somebody that they're gonna hype up. Yeah, he's this, but look what he could do. It'll be perceived as like Calais Campbell, but not in that position. But the guy will never play for the Dolphins. Take that to the bank. That's my prediction. We'll see you guys. Make sure to hit the like button.
There you go.
Appreciate everybody coming through, and we'll see y'all next time.
Peace and chicken grease.
Oh yeah.